Book title: Simple Way to Happiness Part 2. A small library of big thoughts, collection of inspirational stories and poems from the internet, spiritual books and satsang. Inspirer and guiding force Shri Haribhai Kothari. Collected and edited by Messrs. Paradise Packaging Private Limited, 201 Guru Prabha Apartments, Sundar Nagar, Senapati Bapat Marg, Dadar West, Mumbai, 28. Telephone number 022 2433 4486. Fax 022 2438 5201. Email paradise@paradisepackaging.net. This book is recorded for the sole use of the blind at the NAB MP Shah All India Talking Book Centre, Worli, Mumbai. This book is read by Firdaus Aidenwala, recorded by Mr. H.D. Sood, edited by Mr. Nicholas Robinson. NAB MP Shah All India Talking Book Centre is grateful to the author and the publisher for granting permission to record the book free of cost for the sole use of the blind only. Book is the bouquet full of life. Let us keep our heart free from hate. Let us fill our heart with love. Let us expect little and let us do more than expected. Simple Way to Happiness Part 2. May the simple way to happiness bring us closer to one another. Too true, too often. Too often we don't realize what we have until it is gone. Too often we wait too late to say, I'm sorry, I was wrong. Sometimes it seems we hurt the ones we hold dearest to our hearts, and we allow foolish things to tear our lives apart. Far too many times we let unimportant things into our minds, and then it's usually too late to see what made us blind. So let us be sure that we let people know how much they mean to us. Let us take that time to say the words before our time is through. Let us be sure that we appreciate everything we've got, and let's be thankful for the little things that means to us a lot. Growing old gracefully is a privilege denied to many. Let us never leave behind regrets. Page 1. Love. A young man was very much in love with his girlfriend. The romantic young man folded 1,000 pieces of paper cranes as a gift for her. At that time he was a small person working as a clerk in a small company. His future didn't seem bright, yet they were happy together being friends. Until one day his girlfriend told him that she was going to Paris and will not come back. She also told him that she could not visualize a better future. Heartbroken, the young man reluctantly agreed to part. He realized that his lowly status was an obstacle. He, however, regained his composure and confidence and worked hard day and night to advance his career. Finally, his dedication and determination made him succeed, and he set up his own company. We never fail until we stop trying. After a few years, on a rainy day, while the young man was driving his luxury car, he saw an elderly couple walking and sharing an umbrella in the rain. Even with the umbrella, they were thoroughly drenched. It did not take him long to realize that they were his girlfriend's parents. He drove slowly beside the couple with a heart at getting back at them and wanting them to spot him in his luxurious car. He wanted them to know that he was not an ordinary person anymore. He had his own business, a car and a house. He had reached greater heights. Page 2. The story Love Continued. Before the young man could realize, the couple had walked towards a cemetery. The young man got out of his car and followed them. He saw his girlfriend's photograph smiling sweetly as ever from her tombstone, and he saw his paper cranes beside her. Her parents saw him. He asked them how this happened. They explained that she did not leave for Paris at all. She had cancer. She believed that you would be successful one day, but she did not want to be an obstacle in your path. Therefore she chose to leave you. Her love for the young man was so profound that she did not want him to suffer with her because of her cancer. She just loved him without expectation and wanted him to be free and enjoy life. Love is giving and not receiving. Let us not let our love fly away when it is residing next to us, because if we do, someday we will think again, why did we let it go away from us? And just because someone does not love us the way we want them, that does not mean that they don't love us. She wanted her parents to put paper cranes beside her tombstone, because sometimes in life, when fate may bring him to her again, he could take lots of love back with him. The young man cried bitterly. Quotable quotes. There are things that money can buy and things money cannot buy. The most precious things are the ones that money just cannot buy. Page 3. Sparrow. There was a sparrow who decided not to fly south for the winter. However, soon the weather turned so cold that he reluctantly started to fly south. In a short time, ice began to form on his wings, and he fell down to earth in a barnyard, almost frozen. A cow passed by and crapped on the little sparrow. The sparrow thought it was the end, but the manure warmed him and defrosted his wings. Warm and happy, able to breathe, he started to sing. Just then, a large cat came by, and hearing the chirping, investigated the sound. The cat cleared away the manure, found the chirping bird, and promptly ate it. Moral. 1. Attempt of unwanted doing becomes dangerous. 2. Everyone who craps on us is not necessarily our enemy. 3. Everyone who gets us out of the crap is not necessarily our friend. 4. And if we are warm and happy in a pile of crap, let us keep our mouth shut. Page 4. Men. If you praise him, he says thank you. If you don't, he feels secure in your love. If you agree to his likes, you have met fantasy. If you don't, you still get along. If you visit him often, he welcomes you every time. If you don't, he'll visit you instead. If you're well-dressed, he says you're beautiful. If you don't, you're still beautiful. If you're jealous, he reassures you and holds you. If you're not, he gives you no reason to be. If you attempt a romance, he sweeps you off your feet. If you don't, he will love you from afar. If you're a minute late, he's grateful for your arrival. If he is late, he apologizes and makes it up to you. If he does not help you in crossing the street, he knows you're a big girl. If he does, he shows that he will always be there for you. If you talk, he will always listen. If you listen, he will tell you anything you want to know. In short, so complex yet so direct, so strong yet so supportive, so dazzling yet so humble. Men are marvelous. Page 5. Women. If you praise her, she thinks you're lying. If you don't, you're good for nothing. If you agree to all her likes, you're a henpecked man. If you don't, you do not understand. If you visit her often, she thinks it's boring. If you don't, she accuses you of double-crossing. If you're well-dressed, she says you're a playboy. If don't, you're a dull boy. If you're jealous, she says it's bad. If you don't, she thinks you do not love her. If you attempt a romance, she says you didn't respect her. If you don't, she thinks you do not like her. If you're a minute late, she complains it's hard to wait. If she is late, she says that's a lady's way. If he fails to help her in crossing the street, he lacks ethics. If he does, she thinks it's just one of the men's tactics. If you talk, she wants you to listen. If you listen, she wants you to talk. In short, so simple yet so complex, so weak yet so powerful, so confusing yet so desirable. Women are wonderful. Page 6. Dad. A dad is a lifelong friend. A dad is someone who holds us in his arms as we enter into this world, who teaches us to walk as we toddle and supports us all along as we grow up. A dad is someone who encourages all our efforts and appreciates us wholeheartedly when we achieve a goal, who comforts us over a disappointment and helps us to smile instead of shedding a tear. A dad is someone who listens patiently to our never-ending doubts, fears, and puts them to rest and guides us throughout. Someone whose eyes shine with pride and happiness at every little achievement of ours, who's always there with love and a prayer in his heart. Page 7. Mother. A young boy about 6 years old was talking on the phone to his grandparents. The youngster told his grandparents dejectedly, "Mom is in hospital, so Roxy, Billy, Sally the dog, me and Dad, all of us are alone at home." God could not be everywhere, so he made Mother. A father listens to his son yelling at his mother. After they finish shouting and arguing, father calls his son and says, "Take this hammer and drive this nail into that piece of wood." Afterwards, father tells him to pull out the nail. Then he said, "When you fight with your mother, you drive a nail through her heart. But look, when you are forgiven and you take the nail out, the hole stays." When we say things in anger, the words leave a scar just like the nail holes. If we stab a person and draw the dagger out, it would not matter how many times we say, "I'm sorry." The wound is still there. A verbal wound is just as bad as a physical one.